Today I'm going to show you guys how we went from this to this. Let's get into it. Alright guys, let's start off the fade. First thing we're going to do is open up our machine all the way. That's with no guard. We're doing a half fade here. This is going to be a really good haircut. Stick around. You have to see this one, especially if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to fade. The half fade is one of the easiest fades to do. So what we did is we open our machine up all the way. We're just working our way around the head, starting at the temple area. Make sure at this part of the haircut, everything is clean. And we're going to do the same thing. Make sure you're bending the ear, get that ear out the way so you can get behind the ear. Now at this point of the haircut, what we did was we grabbed the number 2 guard, flicking the wrist, working our way all the way to the crown of the head, but we're flicking our wrist as we get to the top of the crown. We're not going all the way up because it's not a high fade. Now we are going to comb over his hair. We're going to scissor it down. We're also going to do the beard during the process of this haircut. This one is a really good one. This guy is a doctor. So he wanted something that was like clean, short, but he wanted to look good at the same time, look professional at the same time. But he's a young guy, so he still wants to look young as well. So what we did here, we have a number 1.5, and as you can see, as I'm working my way up, I'm opening that lever. Now I have a complete lever video coming out next week, so I want you guys to make sure that you catch that video on how to use the lever. Using the lever on the machine is very important. If you don't know how to use the guards yet, I also have a video on this channel where we're talking about how to use the clipper guards. Very important. Now you can see, flicking that wrist, as I get higher, I'm opening that lever. When I get lower, I'm closing the lever. Okay, so we're gonna get more into that next week. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you can see that. So right here, we drop down to the number 1 guard. Now you can see that the fade is almost completely blended out when we just drop down to that 1. That's because we did a half. You're still gonna see a small line right here. So what we're gonna do after this guard is we're gonna drop down to the half to get that complete blend. So we're gonna do this all the way around the head. We're gonna do this on the back and on the other side as well. Now notice again how I'm grabbing the ears, guys. You want to make sure that you're going around those ears. A lot of times people do fades, they don't move the ear out the way, and then you just got like this dark hair just around the ears. Now I see that a lot whenever I go to a store and I'm like in line with somebody and I'm like right behind them, and I can see basically that they have hair. I can tell what the barber did. Now at this point in the haircut, we drop down to our half guard. Now remember, we did a half in the beginning. That's the machine all the way open, pretty much as a half. So what we're doing is basically blending out that line. And that was basically our only guideline for this haircut. Now again, when I'm in the malls, I'm in the stores, I kind of see people's haircuts and see like where the barbers made mistakes at and what the barbers did wrong and stuff like that. So you kind of can observe the different things. You can tell some people don't bend the ears, some people leave the hair behind it, some people don't go high enough, some people don't work out the lines. So pretty much, inspect other people's haircuts, inspect other people's work so you can kind of sharpen up your skills as well. That's a lot of things I like to do as well. It's just, think of different ideas and topics and stuff like that. So you can see we completely blended out the hair. Now I'm going to blend the beard into the fade. Now a lot of barbers don't do this as well. Sometimes people will give somebody a haircut, but they don't blend in that dark part of the beard. You need to blend that in. So right now we're going to grab our outliner and we're going to go start our shape up. Now, he doesn't want to line up the front. We're just lining up the sides right here, and then we're going to create a nice curve right here. We're going to keep it wide. Again, he's a professional, so I don't want to make the curve too skinny. All right, so you kind of got to use your imagination when you're working with somebody. We're going to go ahead and shape the outline of the beard, and then I'm going to go ahead and go around the ear, and we're going to get right back to that beard. Now when you have a client in the chair, you got to look at them, see what type of profession they have, give them a consultation and tell them what you think is good on them, what will work on them, what you think will look good on them. And if they accept it, they accept it, or if they say, you know what, I don't like that, do it like this. But try to give your professional opinion, based off their job and the look that they have. You have to look at people and know what looks good on them. So right here, we're just outlining the back. And you can see I'm just making a straight, nice and sharp line. You can see the fade is nice and blended out. I'm really loving it. And again, going around the ear, moving the ear out the way so I can get behind it. Okay, you're gonna do this on the other side as well. You can see, just lining it up, just making sure everything is nice and straight, bending that ear so I can get around it, and just making sure everything is nice. And you can see again, that fade is looking really, really blended. Beautiful half fade. Sometimes it doesn't have to be skin all the time. Sometimes a half fade will really, really work on people as well. You just gotta, like, again, know what looks good on people. Now putting his head down, because we're gonna square out the back. Now a lot of times when you try to square out the back and you don't put the customer's head down, the line could come out crooked. A lot of you guys out there, if you ever notice the square line or the round line came out crooked, that's because it's good to do it like this and then also do it with their head bent down. Look, you see how I got his head up right here? I did it both ways. So right here, we're gonna do the same thing we did on the other side. Make this little line, we're leaving the front natural. I did this little line just so the fade could pop. And again, keeping that circular part right here by the temple area, we're gonna keep that as wide as possible. Going around the ear, just making sure everything's nice and clean. Then we're gonna start that beard. So again, like we did on the other side, we start on the outside line. He wants to keep the beard dark. So we're just making sure that we make it look nice and crisp. All right, now we're gonna start on the top of the line. Don't go too crazy with this part. We're gonna go ahead and use a straight razor to really make this thing detailed. Again, don't go crazy, because a lot of times when people go crazy, they end up pushing the beard too low. And at this point, you want to keep his beard as wide as possible. So you have to work with what you're working with, all right? You can't try to, go too far. And at this point right here, we're gonna go low on the neck. We wanted the beard low on the neck. Now, I do get a lot of controversy for me bringing up the beard too high. I just want you guys to know out there, when I do bring a beard up high, it's how the customer wants it. I can only recommend to some people they should keep it lower, but if somebody wants their beard to their chin line, I have to do it for them. That's how they like it. So a lot of times when I do the beard, people are like, that's too high or anything like that. But look how low I'm keeping this beard as well. So it all depends on the client. You gotta give the customer what they want. You can recommend what you want, but you gotta give them what they want. Again, making sure that line is straight, going under the mustache, cleaning under the lip. You don't want to leave any hair hanging over the lip. At this point, we're going to grab some Easy Blade Shave Gel. You can grab that on our website, easybladeshavingproducts.com. It's clear. You can see exactly what we're doing with the straight razor. I'm going to rub some of that on there. We're going to grab an Easy Blade double-edged razor as well as an Easy Blade straight razor. I'm going to get this thing really, really sharp. So you can see I'm pulling the skin, angling the blade at a 30, and I'm stopping the blade exactly where I want it. That's very important and very key, guys, when using a straight razor. If you guys don't know how to use a straight razor, go to the channel. We have a video talking about how to use a straight razor. There's a few videos, actually. There's one we just put up last week, talking about how to use a straight razor, the different things you can do to make sure you don't get cut. So here we go right here, same thing. We rub some Easy Blade on there, and we're starting to let that blade glide and make that beard nice and sharp. Again, stopping that blade exactly where I want it to be, guys. Very, very key and very, very important to, making sure that the haircut is sharp and make sure that your client is happy. Okay, you can see the beard is a little thin at that part. So again, I don't want to push it down too much. A lot of you guys, when you're first starting out, you end up pushing it down too much. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead, wet the hair, comb it back, and we're gonna do a simple scissor cut. We're gonna do a finger length haircut. So at this point, I'm probably just gonna use like a few fingers. We're gonna probably do a 2-finger cut. We're gonna basically get 3 fingers. I'm using about 2.5 fingers. I'm pulling up, and I'm basically going straight back, pulling up, using the scissors and going all the way back. Same thing over here on this side. You can see, just evening out the hair, pretty much. You can get technical with the scissors. Again, there are different videos on our channel if you want to do stuff like that. But again, this is a simple scissor haircut. We're gonna make sure that we put some Easy Blade pomade on the hair. Pretty much gonna comb it to the side, style it a little bit, just make sure that the front pops up a little bit. We're gonna rub that pomade in there, really rub it into the hair, get it in there, and then basically push the hair the way I want it to go. Then I'm gonna take a comb and pretty much style the hair the way I want it, pull the hair back and up, and basically, get the hair the way you want it, guys. Comb this little part down over here, give them a natural part. And this is pretty much what we have, guys. If you do like the video, like, comment, subscribe. Again, Jay here from easybladeshavingproducts.com.